Hello and welcome back everybody to Because We're Here, Mohnblume und Blaue Rose. So, last time we had a reunion, but as our friend Elfriede is saying here, it was not as emotional as she thought it would be. So, our friends really show some signs of war tiredness, I'd say. Poor guys. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? This time it's a different button again, yay. It's just glum. Everyone seems quiet. Everyone seems worn out. I had hoped there would be a little more done to address the fragile heart of a worried girl on the home front, and a lot less in-depth discussion of military matters and survival tactics. Oh, you're new too. We reached Hill 15 to see a thin, pale, gawky-looking man. His eyes are sunken into his face, and his expression is cold and vacant. He sits with his back to the trench wall, looking up into the sky and scribbling into a small pad. When we approach, he speaks without looking up. "You were supposed to be here 23 minutes ago." "Warmest apologies, Private Bergengrün. You are welcome to add an equivalent amount of slack the next time our roads are reversed." Walter Bergengrün. Bergengrün. Actually, that's a nice sounding name. If I have ever invented, I think I'm going to steal this name if if I ever going to create a game. No, I'm just kidding. But it means like, well, it's not really like you can translate it into Green Mountain. But you know, it's similar, and it sounds great. And it's a realistic German name, I guess. Fine. What are you drawing today, Bergengrün? Lark. With a slight tilt of his head, Walter indicates a bird in a nearby dead tree. He puts his pad away and rises. Upon seeing me, he stops and sizes me up. He stares directly into my eyes, and I can see nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero discernible indication of any thought or feeling whatsoever. Is he bored? Angry? Just tired? No, he's an artist, you can't tell. That's the point. What's wrong with him? This is Walter Bergengrün. He, doesn't say much. Hi. Elfriede Raus, at your service. I'm training to be a field post woman. Right. You're drawing the birds? Are you a war artist too? No. Without engaging me further, Walter ducks down and heads off down the line. He barks a single statement back to the others. "Don't be late again." And he's gone. That was more than a little embarrassing. Is being a war artist really that harsh an accusation? What? Probably just an odd man. Maybe a little bit of both. I hate that guy. Is he always like that? Private Bergengrün is a private person. By which Eugen means Private Bergengrün is a prickly, uncooperative piece of work. I remember someone back in Borschberg who used to fit that description. I was an ass in Borschberg. I know that. But when I got to the trenches, I dropped it. There's a time and a place. Bergengrün has kept it up. Bergengrün only likes animals. Any horses, dogs, birds, anything we come across, and he's straight there. But anything on two legs that can talk, and he's mentally checked out. We all hate him. We give him rations late, we give him the last choice of shifts, we give him the worst equipment whenever any, becomes available. Yeah, I mean, that is all really like asshole-ish behavior. And you don't do that. But on the other hand, it's war. Are you victimizing this Bergengrün? Victimizing implies a gentle soul singled out, not an angular cat like Bergengrün. I attempt to extend the olive branch on regular occasions, and am met with bilious condescension each and every time. Our animosity is hard-earned, I assure you. Why don't you probably say something? Why don't you talk it over with him? Oh, it's not worth dwelling too much on personal disputes out here. Chances are that they won't last long enough to become a problem if you catch the subtlety. Yeah, that was very subtle. Yeah, good point, I suppose. I wish they'd stop dropping all these subtleties. It's making me so uncomfortable. Am I even going to survive the day? I mean, I'm going home today, so I know I only have to last a couple of hours. But it's only going to increase my worries for their safety at 100-fold. Oh, I ought to begin my shift. Yes, let's sit up against here and talk, Elfriede. This is a slightly more exposed stretch of the line, so keep your head down. You'll be fine so long as you don't make any sudden movements. The four of us sit around and catch up. August and Eugen gently set their rifles down against the wall. Wolf unceremoniously chucks his in the corner. Meanwhile, Eugen has taken over a strange lookout contraption. The trench periscope. Oh, this is supposed to be a periscope. Okay. It gives the user a view of no man's land without having to, quite literally, stick their neck out. He sits with his back to us, half participating in the conversation and half watching for, threats to everyone's life. Yeah, there could be cooler places to have a talk between friends. I can see where you're coming from. August's warning is at the forefront of my mind. Hopefully this isn't the moment I'll lose control and begin practicing the star jump. What is the star jump? Ah. Oh well. No, I'm sure I'll be fine, but to have to constantly remind yourself that death or injury may well lie behind one simple action is still very unsettling. I often volunteer for extended periods manning the trench periscope, Elfriede. It appears that sighting is a particular strength of mine, funnily enough. So you do extra? Well, of course. If I have this skill, then I'm more than willing to enter the give and take of the battlefield, if it is beneficial to our mutual survival. And people sleep a little easier when they know Eagle Eyes Reinhold is on lookout. They'll shine his shoes in return, or give him part of the ration. Oh, literally shine his shoes. I thought this was like a metaphor, but I remembered, they have boots that have to be shined, probably. At least when some kind of bigger commander's around. It's all an economy, hence the 6 earlier. Well, okay, whatever. Eugen, you seem to be, well, thriving in this environment. Eugen turns from the periscope and softly sets a hand on his rifle. Oh, rather. I cannot pretend that I'm not a paragon of soldierly conduct, and not just for my sighting abilities. The measure of a knight is his treatment of the warriors whose company he keeps. And as I said, I acknowledge my role as a mere cog in the... What the hell is COG? I mean, I know that cock like penis metaphor and probably the manly chicken is written COCK. But what the hell is a cock with COG? In the mighty Wesslinger war machine. And just because one cock serves with beauteous fervor, that does not mean all others cannot. Rarely, if ever, has your meaning eluded me this much. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't understand what's going on, but in my case it's because of the English. He is just being Eugen. I think he's trying to say that he's surprised how comfortable he is playing a supporting role rather than running off on his own and trying to be an epic hero on the first day. Ah, okay. Verily, well put, Private Vile. Eugen returns to the periscope and sniffs before continuing nonchalantly. Enough chaps try that as soon as they're off the train, and they generally don't last very long. Additionally, early into our stay here, I was strongly advised to ship the Holy Blade Blaumarsch back home, knowing what I knew I saw fit to oblige. Ha! I can imagine. Yeah, the old Blaumarsch won't do shit. August, how are you finding everything? I don't know about paragon of soldierly whatever, but I'm doing alright. He is exhibiting a shameful modesty, my lady. Young Vile has excelled himself. Basic training threw us all for a loop somewhat. What with Wolf's recalcitrance and my, flamboyance. Let's say noble virtue. Regardless, none of us were really the most well-liked of cadets, outside of our existing acquaintance from Borsberg. But in the field it is an entirely different experience, I think it is safe to say. It pays to have sharp wits. That, and a good degree of restraint. Both of which it turns out August has in buckets. That doesn't sound like the August I know at all. Yeah, you know, in situations like these, I guess, humans grow stronger. Because they have to, you know. Can he really have changed that much? Well, he's like talking back to Eugen, so that is already like, very different from the August we knew. Wow, I never pictured you becoming a model soldier, August. Thanks for your show of support. Oh, that was ironic, okay. Oh, come on. You know I didn't mean it like that. It seems you're doing well. All of you. I'm sure that if you keep it up, before long you'll be able to take that trench over there with no difficulty at all. Ha! Wolf scoffs and spits on the ground. I look over at August, hoping to meet eyes and silently acknowledge the rudeness, but he sheepishly avoids my gaze. Eugen breaks the tension. Elfriede, I would not sneeze at the achievement of becoming a first-rate private such as Vile. Or let's be honest, having survived the brutal learning curve of the whittling down process, any of us at this point. But the pursuit of heroic virtue out here has really been somewhat unexpectedly hindered. Leyland's got more fire than we thought. A lot more. The war was very much sold to good gentlemen such as ourselves on Vesling's military superiority to Leyland and Levasseur. And upon arriving at the trenches and encountering the fire-breathing dragons across the way, a lot of us heroes in waiting are reconsidering our strategies for slaying them. What? Dragons? Again, just being Eugen. He means that Leyland have got machine guns. What? That's ridiculous. How the hell did Leyland get their hands on machine guns? We don't know. Corrupt Wesslinger dealings? Or just a surge of great engineering minds in this generation of Leylandians? Either way, when both sides have the kind of firepower, you can kind of understand why we find ourselves in this incredibly stationary advance. This is insane. Leyland has always lagged behind us technologically by 50 or 60 years. We only invented the machine gun a few years prior to the war, and it's why we were optimistic about taking Levasseur, along with some of Leylandian's colonies eventually, no doubt. But now, apparently, there's no doubt about it. The Leylandian government really weren't punching above their weight so much as everyone suspected when they stood up to us. Have we really got ourselves into quite a spot of bother here? Well, I assume a stalemate can't go on forever. If it's like you say, then they must be around the table right now, working out a treaty, surely. You'd hope. Yeah, I'm sure they... Wait. Wolf, what? I thought you despised Leyland. Again, there's a time and a place. Leylandians are pretty bad, but there's other concerns out here. Offense is the best defense, is as far from helpful advice as you can get. Offense just doesn't really work. Mind you, neither does defense, though I have no idea what's going on. Regardless, Wolf has changed a lot, Elfriede. He's one of the finest comrades you could have out here. Really? August, you hate Wolf? No offense, Wolf. How is that offensive? I was a moron back in town. I know that. But out here, if you try and be a moron like that, you'll probably get your whole squad killed. I will admit that Hausmann's actions throughout his petty criminal career in Borsberg were quite far from the universal, gentlemanly ideal. Universal, yes. But Private Hausmann has shoved the lion's share, if not the entirety, of his unsavory habits to the point where even an upstanding, blue-blooded gent like myself can forgive this. Eugen searches for the most complimentary way to downplay Wolf punching him. Well, you know, of course it makes sense though. Fist-based transgressions in light of the outstanding warrior for justice that he has become. Ha! Cheers! Wolf's not even going to make fun of him for warrior of justice? This is insane. I knew these three were going to be brought together, but have they really become friends? Well, like for real. It's like, that is in everyday situation. I mean, you don't even have to be in war for stuff like this. They are like the last remaining, not the last remaining three of Borschberg, but they are three remaining of Borschberg, you know. And the whole, and half of their squad or whatever it was killed. And now they're the only ones they who know each other, and they have already seen what threatens them and so on. How would they not become closer to each other? You know? How would they not? Well, it's good to see you turn over a new leaf, Wolf. It's incredible to see the transformation in all three of you. Really? We try. And I'm confident that the three of us can commit our names to the heroic canon yet. Eugen seems as if he sees something and starts to reach for his rifle, but hesitates and slowly withdraws his hand, placing it back on the periscope. Obviously nothing, but he's reminded me of the question that had been on my lips for a while now. Have any of you seen combat? I mean, you said there was a skirmish. Did you... I don't know what I'm trying to do here. There's no way to phrase this diplomatically. Did you kill anyone? I certainly didn't. August? Wolf? No, I was right by you. I fumbled along until the retreat call was sounded, then headed back. August would previously have flinched away from that question. I suppose a growth like that has always going to happen after the first battle. I might have. I fired enough shots into the middle distance. But then I had to retreat with everyone else. Wolf might have. That doesn't surprise me. Except, perhaps it does. He seemed so set on particularly having a collection of Leylandian skulls by now. Retreat? So the battle was a rather one-sided endeavor. We headed out to no man's land, sustained heavy losses within a matter of minutes, and a retreat was ordered. Hardly a tactical victory, but we were glad to be out there. Minus Lange and half of the fellows, but out of there all the same. This sounds horrible. Honestly, it's not so bad. It takes a lot of getting used to, and it takes a whole different mindset, but we can handle it. We're already dead. We might return, we might not. But we're already dead. The sooner you can accept that out here, the easier a ride you're going to have. August produces a small bread roll from his pocket and takes a bite. He rips off a small corner and offers it to me. August. Seeing him talk like that was heartbreaking. Is this how a soldier has to be? Evidence would suggest so, but is there no middle ground? To see everyone change this much, I don't know how it makes me feel. There are a lot of occasions in this game where you get to Is this the end of the demo? Where you get to choose a route. In other words, choosing the character who is to become the focus of Elfriede's romantic attentions. Extra scenes with your chosen character are shown, and you are given the chance to get inside their psyche and grow close to them as the war progresses. Throughout the course of the game, you will be able to switch routes very regularly, so don't worry about choosing rashly. You can always get out of the route if a character isn't to your liking, or a preferable one comes along. As this is somewhat of a tutorial, you'll be restricted to August's route for the first choice. By the time the next choice comes around, you can choose to switch your focus based on your choice of potential partner. But for now, please select August's route from the Route Select menu. What? Where is the Route Select menu? What is going on? So I have a Route Select menu? Okay. But I know who it's time to reach out to. The man I know I need to talk to is... So can I... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Uno momento. Uno momento. Now I get it. Oh, so extra scenes throughout the game, so don't worry about choosing. You can always get out of the route if a character isn't to your liking, or a preferable one comes along, okay? Extra scenes with your chosen character are shown, and you are given the chance to get inside their psyche. Okay, so where you get... Oh, wait a minute, yeah. But for now, please select August route. Yeah, but what if I push... Let's say I like Marius. Wait a minute, let me save. That's actually a good idea. Currently unavailable. Yeah. Okay, I see. Well, then let's go for August, then. Alfried is now on August Weil's route. So this is how this works? I don't know. Now I have to say, this is not really like... This is not really the smoothest way. Whoops, mouse again. This is not really the smoothest way to do this now, is it? Oh well. Oh well. It's like the very first thing that is not really to my liking. Heck, I have to choose, and now you're on August's route. I mean, that makes the game easier replayable, I guess. But you know, except for that... I don't know how long this goes on from now. Should I end the... Yeah, I'm going to end the episode. So, now we... first of all, we learned more about what is going on here. But, wow, that was heavy stuff. That was some heavy stuff. And also, we know now how the game mechanics work, so that is interesting. Oh, and, of course, we get a romantic scene with August. So come back for that next episode. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next one. It might be the final one. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.